What is that? Good morning. I'm here, if not a minute or two late, but I am here, and we're gonna do this. So today's stream, we're gonna start with actually show and tell. I've got a couple of cool things that I wrote last night. I was sitting around watching some baseball, my last baseball game of the year, and yeah, I added some features that were on our to-do list. So I thought I'd start by kind of showing those and show how they work, and then we can get right into adding some more features and achievements and all the other stuff. I still really need to revisit our craps engine because it doesn't do a lot of the things that a craps game needs to do yet. I mean, it'll let you roll and stuff, but it doesn't move bets and it doesn't take bets very well. I need to think that through too. I think there's a casino here in Columbus, and I feel like I'm going to reach out and see if I can't interview like a craps dealer to understand better what people say and how they say it so that I can get this right. Because I don't talk a lot when I play craps. I just put my chips down and the dealer moves them to the places they need to be. But I think there are things that people say, and I need to know what those things are. So oh, that's delicious this morning. Thank you, TeamView. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go over here. There's our leaderboard. Mr. Smoofy had some major movement yesterday. 558 billion. Just crazy. He's going to break my leaderboard at some point, I think. I also have this challenge of like usernames. Like Stream for Charities is a very long username. That also adds to the complication. Okay. So you can see my screen here, and you can see that this right here, Daily Reward, has a check mark in it. I'm pretty excited about this. So I wanted to show you where I got on this yesterday, because I was kind of battling with this as we ended our stream yesterday. And so let's talk about that. If we look at, and I haven't run the skill yet today, so hopefully we'll be able to get this happening today as well. But on my, where's the right way to do this? On my launch request, I now have this little switch statement wrapped in an if that is, hey, you have a daily streak, right? So I keep track of, well, let's look at the data too. The data for this, I have this table called user session. And every time that you create a new session for the skill, now this isn't every time you talk to the skill, it's only when session is new. But when session's new, I log a record in the database here, so I can see every time that you came back to the skill. That's basically what I know there. Another thing, I hadn't considered this, but another thing that I should do is pass in where you came in, so I can see if users are actually using multiple platforms. Ooh, that's a good one. But anyway, so I keep track of that, and then I have this nice little function here somewhere. Oh no, it's part of my no. How do I do this? Oh, I'm just looking in the user session attributes. I have this new property called streak, and then I have these properties called are they within the current streak, and is today in the streak. This was a little complex for me to figure out, but we were able to solve this by using an NPM module called date streaks, and what it basically does. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it here. If we come into let's start with my index file. We'll go all the way through this process. Start with my index file, and the first thing that we do is we check to see, is the session new? If the session is new, then we call Chatsino get user streak. I want to call this first because what I don't want to do is log today's entry and then go check their streak, because it'll always seem as if I don't need to reward them for it. They've already been here today. So I'm doing this first. I check get user streak. So let's go look at that function and take apart exactly what that does. So inside data, we have this get user streak file. And all I do is I call out to Airtable, and I get all of the data for this user's session data. So again, all those logins that we just saw on the table. I also sort them so that the most recent date is the first in the list, and we just sort through. So once we get in here and we get those records, I save them in this file, this object called records. I apply them to a set where I'm looping through that collection and creating a set of all of those records. So what's nice about this process is that it only adds unique ones. Good morning, Gold Zulu. So it only takes the unique ones. So what I end up with is this really nice set of unique dates that you've been here. Then I use this summary function, and this summary function is the key. I'm using this date streaks. I'm using this date streaks npm module. That's not even the right thing to say. npm package, no. I don't know what the right term is. Anyway, I've got this module, and it does all this calculation for me so that I don't have to figure out what day it is and what day they need to use and whatever. I was very fortunate to be able to find this. Good morning, Corey Haynes. Good morning, good morning. Wow, 500,001. Nice win. So then anyway, I take this, I apply that to the set, and then what I do is say, well, what is my streak? And it returns me a couple of properties. It returns me, are we within the current streak? This is a really useful Boolean value because it tells me whether or not the user's most recent streak is still in existence. So basically, whether or not today can also be included in that thing. And it does the math for me automatically. It also has, is today in the streak? So if I were to remove all the, like if I put a streak together, 5 days or whatever, but its last day was 2 days ago, it'll fail. It will not recognize that, in fact, you had a streak because today would not be part of that streak. So what I want is for today to not be in the streak, but for us to be within the current streak. This allows me to say, yes, the streak is active, but no, it's not today. And what the today tells me is, hey, I've already rewarded you for this, so I don't need to do any of this other stuff. So I don't really need this anymore. And so then what I'm doing is I'm just updating the user's balance, giving them some reward for the number of days in a row that they've been here. So we have 10, 50, 150, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. So if you can do 7,000, if you can do 7 days in a row, then you end up with like almost 9,000 chips that you've earned just by coming every day. So that information, this new user information, is useless. All we're doing is really applying the balance to the user. Then we're returning our streak. So the streak gets returned here. Then I set today's attribute. Then I make sure that I get a fresh version of my user so that I have their new balance and the new data and everything is accurate. And then I apply the streak object to that so that I have their streak data. So once we've done that, up here, not this one, let's go to the leaderboard, not leaderboard, launch request. And in here, then I check in the same thing. Are they within the current streak? Is today in the streak? And then I just do a modulus on the streak length divided by 7. So basically, what is the remainder? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Or is it 0, meaning that you've been perfect? Now, the only way for it to be 0, because of the way that we have this set up, is if you have 7 or 14. So there's no way to just have 0, 0. Okay, let me come over and spin the wheel for you. A little bit of impatience today. Twitch, haven't even gotten to open a Twitch browser yet. There you go. 6 bets, 12,000. TeamView is the only participant, but won a couple times. That's good. Okay, so let's go to the mod view. That's better. All right. So that's basically how this streaking stuff works. Is I log every time that you create a new session. Yeah, you lost there a little bit. You won on the little ones and lost on the big ones, I think. So I have streaks. So what I haven't tried yet is what it'll tell me today, because if we look at my data, I have only data from yesterday. So today it should say, hey, you have a 2-day streak. That's what I'm expecting. Well, that's not what I wanted. Go back. So let's try Alexa Skills Kit. And let's get
What do you want to play?
Alexa, stop. Let's go to test. We'll open a new tab for that. All right, let's open our casino and see what it says. Hopefully this works.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You are on a 2-day streak. I just gave you 50 bonus coins. You currently have 9,425 coins available. You have played slots 60% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
So as you can see, it now recognizes that I had a 2-day streak. So the one piece that I want to fix in this, and I need to figure out how best to do this, I think it's going to have to be in my index here, is when I call the get user streak, no, when I call save session, I want to call session attributes.user, but I also want to pass in something like Alexa. And then when we go to save session, we can have user and platform. Now this won't affect your streak. If you play one day on Twitch and the next day on Alexa, still counts as a streak. So I'm not going to discount that, but it would be useful to be able to see how users are actually using this. Are they playing across platforms, or do they tend to stay all on one? So let's add a new field here that we'll call platform. And this is just, yeah, the single line text is fine. There's my new record that I just did at October 1st, 2020. Man, water is delicious for some reason today. Okay. So now I should just be able to come in here and say not just user, but platform is platform. So let's quit the skill and start it again and see if we get an entry that has Alexa in that column. That should work pretty readily, I think. That wasn't a major change.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 9,428 coins available.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You have played slots 60% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Okay, so you can see here that I have Alexa now being recorded as my platform. And so each time that I get one of these entries, when I create this for Twitch, I'll pass Twitch through. When I get this built for Discord, it'll come through as Discord. And one of the other things that I intend to do eventually is, and we'll do it as we need it, is that we have Twitch username here, we have Alexa user ID here. We will have a different identity for each platform. And then we'll also build a mechanism into those so that you can basically claim yourself on each of the different platforms. So that's where we currently are. That is built. The streaking stuff is built. So now there is an incentive to basically come back every day and play, because that 7-day bonus of 5,000, that's pretty awesome. Especially when you only start with 100 coins. So you can really, really ramp up pretty quickly just by playing every day, which is that's the behavior I want. That's what I want you to do. So if you play every day, you'll earn a lot more coins than somebody that is just dabbling around. Okay, the other thing that I did yesterday was I added a whole bunch of other achievements. So we now have, as of this recording, 138 achievements, and they cover playing games in poker. We have all of the outcomes of poker, right? Pairs, two pairs, I'll come back to slots, three of a kind, straight, flush, full house, four of a kind, straight flush, and royal flush. Then we have this slots one here, which I did out of order, but I have slots games, right? So slots 1 through 100, so each game of that you play. But then we also have down here 1 cherry, 2 cherries, 3 cherries, 2 oranges and a diamond, 3 oranges, 2 grapes and a diamond, 3 grapes, 2 bells and a diamond, 3 bells, 3 lemons, and 3 diamonds. Those are all the outcomes that you can have in slots, at least this slot machine. And then I also added roulette spins for every time that you spin the roulette wheel. Now, the interesting thing about this is that it works, and I'm going to do it every time you spin the roulette wheel, whether or not you have wagers. So if people just want to sit there and spin the roulette wheel, I think that's fine. They could rack up all of these achievements. It's kind of a waste of their time, but it still benefits me because I'm getting that interaction. I'm getting what is probably daily use out of this stuff. I mean, you'd have to do that 100 times just to earn a bunch of fake coins. I don't see a lot of people doing that, but who knows? Maybe. Anyway, so lots of achievements here. I don't really have many for roulette. I don't have many for craps, and I don't have many for well, I don't have any for blackjack, but I'm not sure how exactly blackjack's going to work either. It might just be roulette and craps. In fact, let me put craps in here now. Roulette and craps might only have rolls. I don't know if I'm going to have you, like, get a bonus because you won on the pass line. Get a bonus because you won on the field or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that. Craps, roll 1. Roll 5. Roll 10. Roll 25, 50, and 100. We'll try to keep this consistent with what we did with roulette. So the achievement engine is quite robust now also. You just roll the dice for the first time. You just made your 5th dice roll in craps. You just rolled the dice for the 10th time. You have now rolled the dice 25 times. You have rolled the dice 50 times now. And are your hands getting tired? That was your 100th roll of the dice. Okay, so that's my achievements for craps. Now I haven't installed that in the app yet. I don't have any of that logic, but at least I have the achievements in the database. So we're at 144. We have a gross of achievements at this point, and I think we'll have many more. I think that there's something to have you played all 4 games. I don't know how I track that, but I guess I know how I would track that. But I would have to check that achievement in a number of places, because any game could be your 4th or 5th game. So just things to think about. Let me add that to my to-do list, actually, as we think about achievements. what other achievements? Have you guys given any thought to what other achievements we might want to have here? What are some other cool things we could do? What about like winning an amount over a certain amount? Yeah, like winning a 1,000,000 coins, like I said, winning amount over a certain amount or certain amounts. I also think there's something to impressive losing streak. Like if you lose 5 things in a row or 5 things in a row on the same game, 5 losing spins on slots, for example. Okay. What else can I do here? I think there's probably a bunch of, instead of winning stuff, there's probably a bunch of dice rolling achievements. You rolled 7 20 times. There might be also for roulette. I think, yeah, we'll do it based on those kinds of outcomes. So we could say roulette spins. You spun red 100 times. That might be cool and interesting, and it gives me some more expansion into how this is actually going to work. Yeah, those are some good achievements. I think, because I was really thinking, I didn't want to pay people for just the wins that they get on certain things. We want to base it on the outcome of the game, and that's more like spinning red or spinning a specific number a number of times or whatever. And I have most of that data already, so it shouldn't be terribly hard to do. We also need to build blackjack entirely. We've not built that at all. And craps still has some work to it. I think roulette slots and video poker are pretty baked. In fact, part of me is tempted. Let's see if I can do this. It's starting to get cold in my office. I sit right next to a window and it's cold outside now. And I brought socks in here and I didn't put them on before I streamed. And now my feet are cold. So we're going to do some socks. There we go. Okay. So let's think about what else we want to do here. I think poker done, slots done, roulette has been started but not really done. I'll leave that empty. This is my list of things that I want to do. Here, let's take this one out. I don't think this is necessary for launch, but it's a good idea. Achievements we're working on. In-skill purchasing, I'm gonna drop this for now. This is not a launch feature. I don't know if it'll ever be a feature. We'll see. This can't be a launch feature because we can't do it until after it's launched. I'm trying to get this to the point where we can say, all right, let's publish. We should add here legal approval to publish from Amazon. This is going to be a big piece of work. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that actually, but it needs to be done. We have way too much data, and I don't need to bring it all back and forth every time. But they don't give me an exclude option, which I really want. I want to be able to say, don't give me these fields, but instead I have to tell which fields I want. And the problem is I'm constantly adding new fields, and then I have to go back and fix all my queries. I'd rather just say, oh, I'm adding this field, but I don't want this excluded. Let me add this one as I'm thinking of it. Did I see LJ's here? LJ, good morning. So, man, we're doing really well on our must happen before publication list. What else can I do today? I don't really want to just sit and work on achievements. Yeah, fire away, LJ. What's your question? Let's do a new folder here. That's blackjack. And in there, I'm going to do an index.js. Maybe. And if we think about other games, let's use craps as our model. So we're going to have Spotify has ads running on Alexa. I was wondering if I can have ads on my APL without voice. I don't think so. I think that Spotify gets a pass like podcasts get a pass. Let's look at the Alexa certification guidelines. This will answer it for us pretty quickly. If they've removed it, then great. But I think in general you're going to find that is not something we're allowed to do. Not functional test, policy guidelines. So I thought, so this starts with, your skill will be rejected or suspended if, and then we have down here, includes or otherwise surfaces advertising or promotional messaging in skill responses, notifications, or reminders. There are specific exceptions. Streaming music, streaming radio, podcast, and flash briefing skills may include audio advertisements. As long as you don't use Alexa's voice. That's a key piece of this. Skills that allow orders to customers to order products or services may include audio messaging promoting those products or services. Skills may include audio messaging informing customers of promotional offers or deals. I can't read today. In response to specific requests. And skills that are specifically designed to promote a product or service may include audio messaging promoting that product or service. But we reserve the right to reject or suspend any skill that includes advertising or promotional messaging we determine is misleading or confusing, results in a poor customer experience, or is otherwise inappropriate. But the key to this is we will fail you if you include or otherwise surface advertising in skill responses, notifications, or reminders. APL is still a skill response, LJ. If you want to forge forward and try it, go for it, man. But I would be concerned that I would get bumped for doing that. So I feel like you probably do not want to put that kind of stuff in there. Now, as long as you're not being malicious, it might be okay, but I feel like the word that I've heard from day one is no advertising. The moment there's advertising, you're going to see everything flip and change, assuming that ever happens at all. But you can imagine how everything will change, right? Every skill will start with, hey, this skill is brought to you by. There will be a ad service that you just subscribe to, and you pop a little thing in there, and they feed ads in for you, and you just collect a piece of it. There will be all of that kind of stuff will exist the moment advertising is allowed. But for our customers, I don't think that they want to have like every skill would add advertising, every single one of them, and I think it would make the user experience a whole lot worse. So, that being said, do what you want to do, but keep in mind this is the policy. All right. I was starting to build blackjack, or at least we were going to think about blackjack. So the blackjack evaluator is going to be interesting. We also need how's this going to work? Let's think about this. When we have video poker, you're dealt a hand of cards, and there's a hold process that we go through where we actually hold your cards. So if I look at poker, do I have like a hold? I do have a hold. So we're going to have to probably build a bunch of those kinds of commands. How do we want to do this? We'll need a hit. I don't know that I'll actually need all these, but let's just do it. Stand. No, stand is the one I didn't want to build. Well, we'll leave it in there for now. Split. There's also double down. There aren't really positions in this game like we have with most, because there's not like a randomizer per se. Thank you for the water, Team View. I think I didn't drink enough water yesterday. I'm so thirsty. We'll probably need a wager, and the wager is when you start. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about index for blackjack and what this.
Welcome to the Alexa Prize.
Alexa,
a university company.
Stop. We need to include these things, so let's do const.
Welcome to the Alexa Prize.
Alexa,
a university.
Stop. Do not make me angry. Equals require, and this is going to be double down. LJ, my first thought was, man, I hope the APIs will allow me to like move the screen around and dance and do stuff, give it some personality. Turns out, at least now, the APIs don't support that. I was a little disappointed when I found that out. You can do like a shake, but that's about it. Stephen Vor, yeah. When she doesn't listen the second time, that's where but I'm talking over my shoulder. I appreciate that it maybe isn't hearing me properly, but yeah, I need to find a way to keep one in front of me or something. What I should do is just plug one here. When the new devices come, I'll take one of these and I'll move it up here and I'll plug it directly, the audio directly into my computer, so that we're pumping the audio live rather than you having to hear it through the microphone. Maybe that's what we'll do. Okay, that's double down. We need const evaluator. Changing the trigger word can also help. Echo, buy all the Legos. We'll see how that works. Sorry, Corey. Let's do const hit require hit const split build on top of Alexa Guard? No, but I think you can use Alexa Guard to like build routines and stuff. Corey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I wish there was a way to have a voice that was genderless, but I don't know how possible that is. But I am with you. I don't think it's funny to yell at your device no matter what. All right, const stand const waiter. there's going to be more, but... And then this is going to be Double Down. Do you guys remember the KFC sandwich, the Double Down? Do they still make that? Instead of buns, they just gave you 2 more fried pieces of fried chicken as the bun. Okay, and then down here in this file, I need blackjack gets to be at the top. Nope, it's not what I wanted. Okay, so that gets blackjack into the mix, but now we need to actually have the files do something. And I don't yet know what those things are. So let's look at data first. What do we actually need to store? So if we look at game, do we have game type? Do we have blackjack in here yet? No. Blackjack. Okay. I think this data right here needs to be in a helper file. Maybe this one? Yeah. All right, and then for game, we will save, we'll do this a lot like, well, this is a lot more like video poker than it is like roulette or craps. Roulette or craps, you kind of have this table and you can have your bets there all the time, but for blackjack, like you play the one hand and then you're done. There aren't more chips. There you can't have a bet push. I mean, I guess you can have it push, but then you start a whole new hand. So it feels to me like we're going to have the user will make a wager and we'll create a game record for that wager. And then we'll probably also need W. Giorgio, I have a packed day today, but I did see your message. If you want to try and do some screen sharing, I'm sure I can find some time tomorrow to take a look at it, but I don't think it's going to happen today. Today's pretty crazy. So we've tried helping you here on the stream, and I just think it's no, I appreciate, like, it's so frustrating sometimes when something just doesn't work and you can't get around it. But hopefully I can help with that. All right, maybe we do this one the right way. The right way. And we think about our tests. And we add a new one that is blackjack.wager.test.js. Okay. Hydrating. Okay, so if we look at a different wager, start here. This becomes blackjack. It's kind of nice that this doesn't have position. The casino died? What'd you guys do? My machine went to sleep. That's what happened. Good morning, Mr. Smoofy. The machine went to sleep, so it should be working now. Let's think about this. How do we want to... How do we want to do this? I mean, I have these tests here, right? These tests will tell me that I'm making sure that I'm checking why would you give me 100 coins? I have infinite coins. I have the power of infinite coins. Mr. Smoofy, I did in fact figure out the UTC stuff. We've got the entire streak engine working now. I was showing that a little earlier on the stream, but I can show you because I'm proud of it. So what I do now is I have in my data folder, we have this get user streak. Let me take a step back because I think this is pretty good. So I also have the main index file, right, where we start. So what I do now is I'm checking to see if it's a new session. And if it is, I call this function I called get user streak. And the get user streak basically calls out to the database and gets all of the records for our specific user on their sessions. We only save these when it's a new session. So if you only play the game once today, you'd only have one record, regardless of how long you played or whatever. So we get all those user session records. We then pump them into a set, which only allows unique values to exist. And so I end up then with a ordered list of all of the session dates that you've had. Then I found this awesome node module called date streaks that does exactly what I want it to do. And so I just pass in my set. Well, I turn it into an array, but I pass in my set to this function called summary. And it tells me whether or not we're in a current streak right now, and whether or not the streak includes today, whether today is already in that streak. If today's in the streak, I don't want to give you any bonuses because that means I probably already did the first time. And then it also tells me how long the streak is. And so I can use that on a modulus of 7 to create a 7-day streak engine. And so on your first day, it's 1 divided by 7. The remainder is 1. So you get a 1-day streak, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7 becomes a remainder of 0. So that's my last one sitting there. And that gives the user a bonus of 5,000 coins. So this is where the actual money gets applied. But then we save our session. And then we apply all of this streak data that we just got to our session attributes. This allows us, when we get into the launch request, which is probably still open here somewhere, maybe. Opened a lot of files already today. If I look at my launch request, you can see that in here now I'm just checking against the user's session attributes. Are we within the current streak? Does it not include today? And within the streak means yes, we are still in an active streak. If their streak ended 2 days ago, then within current streak would also return false. And then I do the same thing with that same modulus for giving you a message about how many coins that I gave you. So I probably should store this someplace else, the actual data values. I also thought about doing a multiplier so that if you are on your second or third or fourth, if you're on a second, third, or fourth loop, like let's say you're on the 21st day of your streak, I thought about doing multipliers, so I haven't done that yet. But at least it does a daily streak, and this is all built and working now. So that's that, Mr. Smoothie. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I totally agree. So he did all the work. She did all the work, and now I just have the information that I need, and it's working really well. I tested it with a bunch of different data, and felt good about it. So yeah, daily streaks are a part of the skill now. And if we go back here, I think I probably still have it. Scroll back. Yeah, you can see that this is what it says now when I come to the skill. You're on a 2-day streak. I just gave you 50 bonus coins. You currently have this many coins. You played slots 60% of the time, but it just drops that in. And then the second time when you come back, hey, you currently have 9,000 coins available. It doesn't mention the streak at all. It's tempting to tell them how long their streak is all the time, but I haven't done that yet. So for now, I only talk about your streak when you've achieved another day in the streak. Okay. So we were thinking about blackjack. I could probably get rid of a lot of these files. You're gone. You're gone. You're all gone. Get user streak, save session. I don't need those. This is the one that I really need. So I need to call blackjack wager, and it's going to take user and an amount. And I need to figure out what those are going to be. So let's start with our wager file. Because there is no valid position. I don't have to worry about valid position at all. So let's do a function wager, user, wager. Do I really call it wager? What do I call it in these other ones? I guess I do. Okay. And I'm going to pass in those. I'll probably have to make this an async function eventually. And how do I want to do this? I got to module export the function. Module.exports equals wager. Cool. Okay. So let's think about what really needs to happen here. I need to be able to return the user's record ID return user wager should just be wager and expect the status to be invalid wager. Well, that's not even true anymore. Oh, that's right. I still got to apply that to this was craps, so I have to apply that to craps because if you remember, we changed. Let me add that to my to-do. We changed how we do invalid wagers. Oh wait, if I did that, then why is this that way? Oh, this is just the test. The test is broken. That's fine. Okay, so I would expect there to be a status also. So status is something. And if we look at craps as an example, we do wager here, we would expect oh man, I can't believe I did that. Shows you how much craps I've played so far. So we don't have is valid invalid position, but we do have that. So how does this function start? We need to see if they have an active game. That's all this. So that's going to go into here. This is going to be blackjack. Because if they have an existing game of blackjack, we don't want to create another game. We want them to finish the game that they're in. So that lets us get the game that they're currently in. And then we do this. Now, I want to look at isValidWager because I feel like it had cases for specific things. Data, no. Cashier, isValidWager. isValidWager is actually perfect, as is. It's either not a number, bet above available balance, or one of these three. Okay. Oh my gosh, a trillion. Mr. Smoothie, that's amazing. I feel like I need to tweak the odds on my slot machine. No, I cannot just bump you to 4th place. That would especially be putting me down. Yeah, we should pop some. We should pop some champagne for that kind of thing. All right, let's think about this. I am checking isValidWager. And I'm checking to see if the wager comes back as is valid. Else, what do we do in our else case? We're going to return this whole thing. Return user wager. There's no position for this game. What are you freaking out about? Oh, it's just that I don't have a status yet. Okay, we'll just do that for now, just so it's not angry. And we want to be able to if it's valid. Actually, I'm going to do that right inside there. Okay, so let's take this. Hello, Mr. Ant. Why is there an ant on my desk? How do you just get one ant? One moment. What ant? Okay, let's get into this. I have to return some things. But before I do that, I want to create my wager. That's this piece. Now with craps, this is weird not having a position for a game like this. So we're going to create our wager. There is, oh, create wager doesn't always take a position. What? What does that look like in data? So if I look at the wager table, I have a position sometimes. Like video poker doesn't do it. So how does video poker place its bet? Poker, 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 poker. Play. Ah, I just pass in nothing. Okay. Solved. And then I pass in my active game. So once I've done that, once I've created my wager, let's go bot hunting. All right. What is this? What is this status that I return? That doesn't seem right. What do I do for video poker? Poker's here. Poker play. Thinking time. Before draw is what I'm sending as my status for poker. So this should be in video poker, when does the hand and everything get created? All that stuff happens in here too, right? I feel like this is a better model. Let's do this instead. Okay, the first thing I've noted is that we need a data, we need a cashier. So we're going to first check and see if their wager is valid. Then if it is valid, we're going to see if they have an active game. I guess I could do that before, but we'll do it inside. That's fine. Because if they make an no, because then I'm kicking back and saying, no, it's not a valid wager. And then you make a valid wager. I'm like, oh, dude, you already have a game. I need to do this first. So we should fix that for poker, too. Let's fix that for poker first. Okay, so this is, do they have an active game of blackjack? If they already have an active game, then I want to evaluate their current status. It's a very distracting day today. You guys are rolling in the casino. Good morning, Jan Blank. I check and see if they have a game, an active game. If they have an active game, then I want to tell them that they already have an active game. And the evaluator is going to be complicated. So what I'm going to do is take all of this and we're just going to stub this out a little bit. We're just going to do some fakery. We need to actually evaluate and tell the user what the state of their hand is. Okay. And then in here we'll just return a dummy object that is user wager status active game. Okay, I think that will work. Except that, Jeff. I'm working in the poker file. Alright, so what else can I do here? All I did was rip this out. I guess this is fine. We can do this. So basically, if they have an active game, which we check here, then we're going to create this result object, pass it back, and say active game. Otherwise, we're going to continue forward. I think this is okay. Let's see if it still works. So if I say bet 5 on poker,
you were dealt King of Spades, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Spades, Jack of spades, and 10 of diamonds. Which cards do you want to hold?
Why didn't it give me a... That should have said, hey, you have a pair of queens.
You are currently holding the Queen of Diamonds, and ka-ching! You won 5 coins with a pair of queens. Your new balance is 9,436. Your final hand was Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Spades, 10 of Hearts, 8 of Diamonds, and 4 of Spades. What do you want to do next?
I just ended it. What is the exploit? Is it that people can give themselves coins? Wow. That's a pretty good bug. That's pretty interesting. I hadn't even considered that. I thought it checked that stuff. So basically, the logic that I have in there is you can give money to someone else as long as you have enough money to cover the give. But what I don't check, so you can't give it to yourself. I mean, we haven't even built any give logic for the new one. We will, but we haven't yet. Very interesting. I wonder why it's not deducting it. I feel like what it should do is if you have 200,000 coins and you say give 100,000 to myself, it should withdraw 100,000 from you and then give you 100,000. So it should be 2 transactions. Well, actually, we can look at that. Sort these by created date. Okay. So my ledger says it's right. That's interesting. My ledger thinks it's right. Why is it wrong then? I mean, I'll have to go look at the code, and it shouldn't allow you to give money to yourself anyway, but I think when I built that, it didn't even occur to me because I assumed the way this is working is that I would pass money, like you give money to yourself and then you withdraw money from, well, yeah, you would give money to yourself and then you would withdraw money from yourself. which is happening here in the ledger. You can see each one of those bets, each one of those gives is right here. Plus 1,000, plus 1 million, minus 1 million. And they're both against the same account. I just don't understand how if I take 200,000 from you and I give 200,000 to you, why it thinks your balance has gone up. Yeah, I will do that. It's just that's an old code base that's living on another machine. I'll have to go. Well, here, let me see if I can just spend a second disabling that. Just one moment. Okay, give is disabling is disabled, but the rest of the casino is working. Sorry, had to take away the charitability. I like that you guys instantly exploit things. Yeah, I'm not changing balances. Everything's staying as it is. That's fine. Again, this is all made up balances because once I finish this Alexa skill, we have the engine working. I am gonna come over here and Twitch will be the next thing that we fix, and it'll use this new engine, which is far more robust. And should be able to handle these kinds of things better. Okay. Completely lost track of what I was doing. Oh, by the way, I'm interviewing somebody from the Alexa Science Organization today at 3 p.m. my time, noon Pacific, on the Alexa channel. So come join me. Come on, head over there and hang out on the Alexa channel and meet one of our folks from the Science Org. They're always very interesting to talk to. So I'm just going to back this all the way up because something's wrong. Let's, finding bugs is good. Exploiting them isn't great, but finding them isn't bad. I'm glad you guys found them. Let's do another poker hand here.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
Backing it up to the original state gives an error now. That's fun. Start poker intent. Line 22. This calls play. I don't understand. Why do we all of a sudden have a bug on this? Cannot read property outcome. I haven't changed anything there.
You already have an active game of video poker waiting for you. You wagered 5 coins. You were dealt King of Clubs, Queen of Spades, 9 of Hearts, 5 of Diamonds. Oh boy. You didn't win. You lost. Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
So there's something about creating a new game of poker that is now broken, and I don't really know why. So this can close. This can close. Start poker intent is a file I need open. And we're saying that the property outcome is undefined. Is it that? Is it that I was overzealous? Let's see if that fixes it.
Blast! You didn't win. You lost 5 coins. Your new balance is 9,431. Your final hand was Ace of Spades. Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
I don't know if outcome is bad. I remember doing that, and I feel like it needs to be there. Because if I look at poker, play, what we do in here is we the wrong game. Okay. Poker play. Check to see if they have an active game. That's not the thing I'm hitting right now. So what I'm hitting is this. This seems to be my problem. And then I don't like having outcome, but Let's see if that doesn't fix the issue. That was the issue.
Bravo! You won. You were dealt Jack of Clubs, 10 of Diamonds, 8 of Spades. Boo! You didn't win. You lost 5 coins. Your new balance is 9,485. Your final hand was King of Spades.
I wonder how that got in there, or what I did to make that happen.
You were dealt King of Diamonds, 8 of Spades, 7 of Clubs. Boo!
I want to hear the winning start. There we go.
You already have a pair. You were dealt Ace of Hearts. You already have an active game of video poker waiting for you. You wagered 5 coins. You already have a pair. You were dealt Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts, 7 of Hearts, 7 of Spades, and 6 of Diamonds. Which cards do you want to hold?
You guys may or may not recall that I have a bug in this,
You are
or
currently
had a bug,
holding the 7 of Hearts and 7 of Spades.
where if I said hold
You
the
are
aces,
about to drop the Ace of Hearts,
Come on.
King of Hearts, and 6 of Diamonds. You can say deal to finish this hand, or you can continue holding cards. What would you like to do?
so I would say hold the aces, and it never worked. And so I went and looked at my model, and when I was naming all these, and I was adding synonyms to all my model for my Alexa skill, I had king, and then I had kings, and I had queen, I had queens, and I had jack all the way down, right? Threes, 3 and 3s, and 2 and 2s. And then for whatever reason, I wrote ace and 1s. I don't know why I did that, but I added aces to it, and now it works just fine. But I was really quite surprised that aces wasn't working, and that was why. So it didn't recognize aces, and so it just assumed I wanted to hold all the cards. Yeah, that was fun. So I don't know why I put that in there as my synonym, but I did. Okay, poker is back and working. We've started building blackjack, but I hate everything about what I've done so far. So we can close down these files. This is my blackjack wager. I'm going to pause on this. Blackjack is a pretty major lift, and I've got some thinking I need to do around how this is going to work. I was trying to just like chop in some code and move fast, but it's not working for me. So I'm gonna take a break on the blackjack. In fact, I'm gonna take a break on the stream. I think I'm gonna pause for today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. It's Friday. It's a good day. Friday's great. And I may even have some time to work on this tonight. I find that I make a lot more progress when I'm not on stream, like kind of explaining and talking to all of you. I like doing this. It's a huge benefit of being able to stream with you guys. How many hours from now is the science stream? The science stream is in 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, Gold Zulu. So it's at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which should be 7 p.m. UK time, I think. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break. I have too many other things on my mind. I've heard like 12 emails come in, which never happens in the morning. So I will see you guys all tomorrow morning. We'll have done an entire week without me missing a day, which doesn't happen too often, but it's been good to try to get out here every day, and I can feel progress happening. I really want to get this thing out. I'm doing an interview with somebody from the Alexa Science organization this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, Kevin. So it'll be on the Alexa channel. You can join us over there. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and we'll be back here again tomorrow morning.